Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're tackling one of the key tasks in the TOEFL writing section, the Write an Email question. This task tests your ability to communicate clearly and effectively in a real-world situation. We're going to break down the question, understand exactly what's required, and then build a perfect email together, step by step. Let's get started. If you're finding this lesson helpful, be sure to follow my TOEFL for more tips and strategies to ace your exam. Let's keep learning together. You will read some information and use the information to write an email. You will have 7 minutes to write the email. You recently purchased a biography from an online bookstore, but you were accidentally sent a novel instead. This first sentence sets up the entire situation. It tells us that you purchased a specific type of book, a biography, from an online bookstore. The core problem is that you were accidentally sent a novel instead. Understanding this difference between the biography you wanted and the novel you got is key to explaining the problem in your email. You would like to return the incorrect book and receive the one you originally ordered. This sentence clearly states your goal. You have two objectives. First, to return the incorrect book, and second, to receive the one you originally ordered. Your email must address both of these points to be successful. You're not just complaining, you are actively seeking a solution. Write an email to the online bookstore's customer service. In your email, do the following. This is our main task. We need to write an email to a specific department, the customer service team. This tells us the tone should be professional and polite. The phrase, do the following, signals that a list of mandatory points is coming up next, and we must include every single one in our response. State the title of the book you ordered. This is our first task. The key instruction here is to state the title of the book. This means you need to be specific. Since the prompt doesn't give you a title, you have to invent one. For the TOEFL, providing clear, specific details like a made-up book title is crucial. Failing to do this means you haven't fully answered the prompt, which will lower your score. Explain that you received the wrong book. Our second task is to explain the problem clearly. You must state that you received the wrong book. This involves more than just saying, it was wrong. A good response will mention both the book you ordered and the incorrect one you received to make the explanation as clear as possible for the customer service team. Ask how to exchange it for the correct one. Finally, this is your call to action. You need to ask how to solve the problem. Specifically, you are asking for the process to exchange it for the correct book. This shows you are proactive and looking for a resolution. Using a polite question format here is essential for maintaining a courteous tone throughout your email. Write as much as you can and in complete sentences. Your response. orders@onlinebooks.com. The to field shows the email address. orders@onlinebooks.com. This address suggests we are writing to a general department that handles orders, not a specific person. This reinforces the need to be clear, concise, and use a semi-formal tone suitable for communicating with a company. Incorrect book received. The subject line, incorrect book received, is excellent. It's short, clear, and immediately informs the reader about the email's content. A strong subject line like this is important because it helps the customer service team quickly understand and prioritize your issue. It's a key part of effective email communication. All right, now let's start writing the email together. We'll begin with a proper greeting. Dear Customer Service Team. We'll start with a professional greeting. We use dear as a standard, polite opening. Since we don't know a specific person's name, addressing the customer service team is the perfect way to direct our message to the right department. The comma at the end is essential before starting the body of the email. Now let's write our first sentence, which will clearly state the purpose of the email. I am writing to report an error regarding my recent purchase, order. We begin our first paragraph by directly stating our purpose. I am writing is a classic and effective way to start a formal email. We then specify the reason, to report an error, which gets straight to the point. We connect this error to a specific transaction, saying it's regarding my recent purchase, and we prepare to give a key piece of information by adding the word order, which shows we are providing the order number next. Let's continue by providing the specific order number and the title of the book we ordered, 9082, which arrived earlier today. We start by providing the specific order number, 9082, which is a crucial detail for the customer service team. Then we add a bit more context with the clause, which arrived earlier today. This detail helps them track the order and understand the timeline of events. I specifically placed an order for the biography titled The Life of Alexander Hamilton to use for my history research. Here, we address the first requirement. We state, I specifically placed an order to emphasize that our choice was deliberate. We identify the book as for the biography titled The Life of Alexander Hamilton, providing the specific made-up title as requested. We also add a brief, relevant reason. To use for my history research, which adds a nice touch of context. Now for the next paragraph. Here we'll explain the problem by stating which book we received instead. However, upon opening the package, I discovered that I was inadvertently sent a fiction novel titled The Secret Garden instead of the biography I purchased. We begin this sentence with a transition word. However, to signal a contrast with the previous sentence, we set the scene with, upon opening the package, I discovered, and then we clearly state the problem, that I was inadvertently sent a fiction novel titled The Secret Garden, providing the name of the wrong book. Finally, we directly compare it to our original order by saying, instead of the biography I purchased. This makes the mistake crystal clear. There seems to have been a mix-up in the fulfillment center regarding my shipment. This sentence offers a polite way to explain the error without placing blame. We start with, there seems to have been, which is a softer, more diplomatic phrase than, you made a mistake. We then suggest the source of the error was a mix-up in the fulfillment center, and clarify that it was regarding my shipment. This maintains a polite and professional tone. In this paragraph, we'll ask for instructions on how to resolve the issue, addressing the final requirement. Could you please provide instructions on how to return this incorrect item? Here, we directly address the third task by asking a clear question. We start with the polite phrase, could you please, which is perfect for a formal request. We ask them to provide instructions on how to, and specify that it's for the action of, return this incorrect item. This is a direct and courteous way to ask for the information we need. I would also like to know the process for exchanging it so that I can receive the correct biography as soon as possible. We add a second, related question for clarity. I would also like to know is another polite way to request information. We ask about the process for exchanging it, which is our ultimate goal. We finish by explaining why we need this information, so that I can receive the correct biography as soon as possible. This adds a sense of urgency while remaining polite. Finally, we need a closing. A simple, professional closing is best. Sincerely. For our closing, we'll use a classic and appropriate word. Sincerely is a standard professional sign-off that works perfectly for this type of email. Don't forget the comma. And to finish the email, we'll add a placeholder for your name. After the closing, you simply need to add, on the line below. In the actual test, you would type your own name here to complete the email. Great job! We have successfully constructed a clear, polite, and complete email that addresses all the requirements of the task. Keep practicing this structure and you'll be well prepared for the TOEFL.